I have my screen cast to my TV up here, but it's still kind of small. I'm still learning the live process on YouTube. I've been using TikTok and it's a little more user friendly. I would like to get a close up of the spinning process because it's pretty wool. Howdy, the three people that said hi. Let's see if I can make the letters bigger. Let's see if I can do that in our settings on the TV. Feature not available. Well, you suck. Okay then. I get what I get. Anything to that screen to make it easier to see it. It's supposed to make those things accessible. I wonder if YouTube lives go over on the side. That would make life just way better. Somebody hit a like for me. Thank you. It is. I don't get colors to play with very often. They're fun. What are your? Oh, it disappeared. I think it said, "What are your podcasts about?" I didn't realize that it was a podcast. I just turned on the live button because I'm trying to do all sorts of videos and lives to promote the farm and help to feed the animals. But that just 7 years pushing hard on that. And at Christmas time, I said, screw it. And I kind of quit. So I don't know what I'm going to do. But so I just turned on the live, cast the TV with, and play some music eventually if it ever gets done doing its automatic update. That I consent to the automatic update. It's been unplugged for so long, and the battery was gone, and so when I plugged it back in, it says, "Oh, you need a firmware update." No, I don't. I'm just using the old phone to use it as a device. Use the camera on old phones and stuff like that. So right now I'm using my main phone. Will support several devices running at once on it, a really good Wi-Fi connection, and I paid a lot of money for that. I have expensive feed bill for just a few animals, but the whole trying to has failed abysmally. I I did that monetization thing for a few years, but the whole farm venture has been 7, and I started with the website right off the bat 7 years ago when we first moved. My hubby took me to the store, to the yarn store today, one of the stores that would not feature my spinners. Um, I don't know what their deal was. All the things they told me about this, they were really excited at first, and then all of a sudden they didn't get a hold of me. And I checked back in with them after a couple weeks. I had heard nothing, and they had said I was gonna have to sign papers or something. Hi, and what's going on, and so they told me a few things that I don't know if I believe them. So I don't know what their deal was. Maybe they got on my website. I didn't even leave them a business card. So maybe. So I don't know. They're sitting up there, and I have them on my Tiki Talkie, and I have them on my website. And I pushed them hard all through Christmas season, the time when people would be shopping, right? Not a one. And they're really cool. I'm using one of them now. This is one of the ones that says my dad made these, and I kept one for myself. I liked them so much. Actually, I kept two. And then, um, your competition is Amazon, and even Etsy went to, they allowed things that were shipped in from China and things like that. And so the whole handmade thing on Etsy went completely down the toilet. So the competition was ridiculous. But I'm still getting my feed flooded with, hey, make money this way and make money that way and present your stuff. And here's my 4-part class. And I just have had enough. I've watched them all. And then on Tiki Talkie, every other video is a screen on what's trending now. I'm gonna do, because I can't quit, because I got bills I gotta pay, little ones, but bills. So, oh, 2 people hit a like. Well, we're gonna go for a while on YouTube, and if it doesn't get lively, then I will flip over to Tiki Talkie and see what happens there. I do. I have my tablet. My little tablet that I can use. I forgot about that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I even made it just sitting there that they were gonna cancel my account after that because they said that it was due to inactivity. I'm like, what? I haven't done anything for 2 years. I put a second video on and it says, oh, you've been inactive. I'm like, whatever. What do you do with all this? What actually works? I'm just kind of amazed that people are actually coming and watching this. But you go. I can't monetize on YouTube yet because you have to meet a certain threshold and it's very difficult to achieve. They want to get your content for free and then they want to show you commercials in the middle of it. That's how that works. But they make all these promises. Promises, promises. That's not going to happen. It says don't unplug it until the firmware is finished, and it's been at 0% for a long time. That's not hooked up to anything. And then this guy This guy is so not charging. I kind of figured that would be the case. That's why he had to get a new phone in the first place. It wasn't charging. Well, we're just going to spin. We got 2 people in here watching. Bunch of people saying hi. I am spinning. I don't know how to say the word correctly, but the breed of sheep is Rambouillet. I think is the how you say it. I was just looking for some kind of soft wool that didn't have a blend of. They put silk in a lot of them in that store that I go to. They put 10 or 20% silk because I guess it's supposed to make it stronger so that you can make thinner. But I get pretty thin anyway, and I don't like the feel of silk on my hands when I'm spinning. It's not the same as touching a silk garment. It hurts my hands. I don't know how to explain it. Maybe it's just me, but it feels like something really tight yanking on my skin. It's not an enjoyable experience for me. So I thought it's still a little itchy because of the dyes, but not too bad. Bearable. I am going to wash my hands when I'm done just because I don't want to spend all night itching. And probably when I give it a good wash, it'll probably be better. So, just because I have super sensitive skin and that's why I do all this. And I just wanted a little color in my life. It's a pretty blue combination. Like the dark is a turquoise and all the way up to light sky blue. I was kind of torn between that and the purple, and then the purple had some silk in the blend and some bamboo. I was like, okay, that's really cool, but why? So I'm cool with just wool. Wool's just fine for me. I only have here, I haven't started dyeing wool yet. So I have 2 alpacas, and one is brown, a dark brown, and one is white. And then I have 4 black sheep. So, and they have a little gray in their winter coat, but not enough to make the whole thing gray. It'll just give it a little homespun look is what it will look like, which is fine. I like the natural looks. I blended some, I have some off-breed white sheep, the old sheep wool laying around from something else I used to have. And I blended that with some of the brown alpaca because alpaca is fussy and it likes to shed and it likes to stretch. When you make a garment with that's just alpaca, your garment will stretch and grow. So you'll get like a people say you got to spin it tight enough and do it right, and that those people don't know how to spin alpaca. So I don't know. I found there's just as many opinions about spinning as there is about people with horses. And they all say, my way's the right way. I have found the one thing that's being said about socks made out of alpaca to be somewhat true. And there's a lot of variables to take into account. When I make socks, when I made socks with alpaca last time, I made it a 2-ply. See, this is a single right here. And then you spin it back on itself and that makes a 2-ply. So I made a little thicker. I was shooting for thinner alpaca socks. And I got a hole in one already. And the people tell you not to do 2-ply for alpaca socks. They say to do 3-ply at least, because just like rope, the more strands you have plied together, the stronger it is, and then that means that you don't get holes in your socks because you're rubbing on like your heel and on the ball of your foot, and that'll be the first place that makes a hole. So with the thinner strands and all of them plied together, um, that makes less surface area of the wool to rub on because it's twisted, smaller, tighter. I keep thinking I'm gonna hit the off button and then people keep showing up. So I don't know why. Over on TikTok, I got all sorts of people watching. I thought I'd give this a try because TikTok numbers have been horrible lately. Like on my videos, I was pushing hard doing my videos on TikTok and not getting very many numbers. They call it suppressing ghost something. I don't remember. But basically, the algorithm has marked something with the AI on your account, and they don't push you out to the feed as much. I know what it is. I'm not trying to sell their crap. I'm selling my crap. That's what it is. They want me to sell their crap. They want me to sell their cheap China made crap. And I'm like, the heck with that. That wasn't working either. I tried that. And I don't really like doing it because it's cheap China made crap. No offense. Because I know they make good things for themselves. I've seen the videos. I've seen the merchandise. I have several pairs of socks from, no wait, those are from Mongolia. Some little, some little gal came to church that was a missionary to the folks. So, ha ha, me. Oh, I gotta look. Letters are tiny. Just a minute. But I don't know what the rest of it means. Howdy. I have to get up and go to the screen to read those tiny little. Lame, huh? Homemade socks that I made that lasted several years, 8 years before they became too holy. I patched a couple of them, but darning socks used to be a thing that people did. But now I'm working on making some socks for me because all of my store bought socks that are made out of synthetic materials are all falling apart. And they're only about a year old and they only lasted as long as they did because I bought several pairs at once and switched them out a lot. So, because that stuff you buy at Walmart, it just doesn't last very long. The stove's burning. It's just not very warm. We're getting almost freezing temperatures tonight. But no snow for us because we're too low. Up in the mountains, though, they're getting snow. I keep seeing often go over to TikTok and find a way to put some tunage on or an audiobook. An audiobook would be nice. Maybe I'll go upstairs and find me another device that I can cast to the TV with. I don't know. I kind of want to go sit by the stove. I'm freezing. I'm very far from the stove. That was the whole point. I was waiting for the stove to start heating and then I could go to bed. I think Hubs got tired of waiting. I'm freezing. I sure wish I could show these pretty colors. Well, I guess you can see them close up there in the braid. I call it a braid. I don't remember what they call it combed top, but they put it in a braid. I'm not sure how all that works. I know that when it comes in a braid like that, that's combed preparation, but you can clearly see that it's machine prepared, so I'm not sure about how all that works. It comes from a mill, obviously, but maybe they have a machine that combs. Because when I comb, I use combs, like literally people combs. Oh, I almost dropped it. Almost dropped it. I like this blue color. It's a little more intense than I thought it would be. I wanted more color variation, but there wasn't a lot of choices in something that didn't have silk to blend. And I don't like it when they put silk in it. I tried it once, I just didn't like it on my hands. It felt weird. And I do this for fun. Isn't my life exciting? When it warms up, I'll go back outside and play with horses again. That's exciting. At least it will be someday when I finally get to touch the horse. She's wild. She doesn't let me mess with her. But right now, it's yuck, wet, mud mess, and yeah. Well, I think we have determined that having the live cast up to the TV is somewhat helpful because the numbers for seeing how many people are there, or if there's any issues, that is a helpful thing. But yeah, oh, I spun it so tight I can't. Can you please just stretch, please? Thank you. It doesn't want to unstretch itself. All right. Somehow my twist got up into my. Come on, little darling. Spin it just for once. I only get to do it like once a year. But it's so nice to have soft wool with. Okay, if it stays at zero for a little bit, I'm going to shut it off. The algorithm listens to me. Every time I say I'm going to go, another number pops in. Does the same thing over and looks at that. It's stupid. I hate it. Mm-hmm.